If you're still buying courses, you might be wasting your money. I'm gonna give you the specific ChatGPT system that I've been using for learning about things. And it's gonna provide you first with part 1. Part 2, it's gonna assess the materials. Part 3, it's gonna explain you how it designs the course. And part 4 is the actual syllabus. If you're still buying courses, you might be wasting your money and your time consequently. Most courses don't actually tell what you're paying for, and once you realize what it is you're paying for, you start learning very differently. In this video, I'm gonna give you a quick run through of what is possible to achieve without actually paying for any courses, what kind of things you can learn about the things that you want to learn about, and I'm gonna give you the specific ChatGPT system that I've been using for learning about things. Hello, I'm Zhenya. I'm an information designer and a PhD in complex systems, and I'm generally interested in things that do not work. And today I'm looking at one thing that frequently doesn't work is our self-study with online courses. Yeah, let's look at what kind of problems we can discover here. So the first thing to understand is that there is information, there's infrastructure. Yeah, whenever you learn about things, information is everything you can find anywhere. It's actually freely available on the internet. All the information about everything you ever want to learn about, it's already there. And that's not the thing that you're paying for when you learn an online course, right? What it is that you're paying for, the argument is that you pay for the commitment, for the system, for the organization of the material, and for the community, obviously. Yeah? And then if it's not the information that you're paying for, and maybe the subject is not as complex, or you don't need like a very deep knowledge straight away, and so probably you don't really need a lot of community if you're learning something on a very beginner level, then you want to ask yourself what it is that you actually require at this point. Do you need the guidance, or do you need discipline to be able to learn about things? And once you know it's discipline and you can generate syllabus for yourself, then 80% of knowledge, it actually becomes quite accessible without necessarily paying for anything. And you only start kind of thinking about taking certifications or more sophisticated courses once you already know specific things that you're not able to learn on your own. Yeah, so kind of your bar goes a bit high if you know how to create a system for self-learning. Yeah? And let's dive right in. And if you go to the free download section on my website, you will find here. And obviously it's free, so I propose you just start using it straight away, and you go to ChatGPT prompts and you find this prompt which is called self-study course creator. Yeah, so that's the ultimate prompt, which is quite big and it's quite thorough in a way that it's asking a few inputs from you, and then also checks if you have any materials, and if it needs to supply some advice to you about what kind of materials you should be looking for. And it goes on and on and on, so it's quite a long one, and you can either copy it from here, or you can create a project or a standalone agent, depends on what kind of ChatGPT version you're using, or maybe it's not ChatGPT you're using, kind of doesn't really matter which agent it is. And there's a video I'm gonna post a bit later, I'm gonna link here, about how to create projects and standalone agents if your plan allows you to do so in ChatGPT, because it might be sometimes easier if you reuse it a lot and you need to attach documents to it, etc. It can be quite handy. Okay, so for now, let's take a use case when I am a beginner student and I want to learn how to learn more effectively. Yeah, so that's because that's the course that I'm kind of developing right now, and I'm genuinely interested in like what kind of solution the agent is going to provide to me if I were a student like that. Yeah, so I'm going to copy the whole thing, I'm going to put it into ChatGPT, I'm going to tell it exactly that, yeah. I am a student, and I want to learn how to study more effectively. And then at this point you just paste the whole thing, and then it's gonna ask you what kind of inputs it wants from you, yeah. And here I want to locate the syllabus of the course, already existing courses, yeah. So it's gonna tell you here as a response what kind of required inputs, what kind of optional inputs it wants, and what is gonna provide you in return. And and I wanna look at obvious sources. So for example, I go to Udemy and I look for productivity for students courses, and at least a few. You can click on this one, for example. This seems to be a really nice course actually, but at the moment you don't really need the course itself. You don't really need the whole content. What you need to supply to the agent is the general topics that are usually taught to people who are studying this, yeah. So here Udemy provides with brief chapters. So you want to grab that. I'm using this screenshot software that converts the whole page to like an image. I use Go Full Page for Chrome-based browsers, but you can find the extension quite easily, whichever extension you want to use, or maybe you can just take screenshots, etc. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's the main thing is that you supply it the screenshot. Then you look for another one, maybe superhuman productivity. I think I already have it here. So essentially you need to make sure that everything is visible. So it has all the chapters, all the modules, and all the little subsections in there, yeah. So this one is a really big one and thorough, and probably it's going to be useful for the model to learn what kind of topics are on offer usually. So it converts it to a JPEG, and then I want to copy that. I want to supply it to the model. And one really good course actually, which I'm a big fan of, is Barbara Oakley's Learning How to Learn. It's a classic in the subject, and it's really big, and they have a really good description, like a really good syllabus on Coursera. Yeah? So you have all the modules with little descriptions, and then their breakdown, and that's kind of ideal. That's what the model needs from you. Yes. So we've pasted these screenshots. I also want to include this OKRs course on YouTube. This is from John Doerr, and it's been discussed in this video about OKRs. I'm gonna take a look because that's also quite important for learning actually. And okay, there's a few more. Maybe you find some papers or some PDFs, or you can add like a PDF of an article that you find online. Okay, if something that you find, you can also add. And then you need to provide all the answers. Yes, you can have fun with the model, you can read what it tells you, and then you provide the answers. I have the answers right here. So what you want to learn? I'm a student, I want to learn how to learn effectively. Time available per study session 30 minutes. Study frequency 3 sessions per week. Deadline 6 months. And optional I provide as well. Yeah, current level beginner. Desired outcome, I have no idea because I'm a beginner. Propose the most realistic few options. Study materials. Attaching a few screenshots of online courses on the topic. Constraints, full-time study, part-time job. Preferences, broad overview and balance of theory and practice, because I don't want it to be just the reading material, yeah, like a reading list. I want it to provide me also with the practical stuff, yeah. And start date, next Friday. If you don't provide start date, I think it's just gonna put the today's date or something like that. So I want to copy all of this and provide the model with my information. And then what it's essentially going to do, and it's going to provide you first with part 1 with input summary and assumptions. it's gonna tell you what you provide, and what it learned about you, like all of the stuff that you provided. Then part 2, it's gonna assess the materials and give you the idea of what would be realistic for you to learn in the time frame that you provide. Materials review, etc. Gaps, recommended additions, scope, learner outcome, proposed outcome options, etc. So it's quite thorough, yeah. Then part 3, it's gonna explain you how it designs the course. And part 4 is the actual syllabus, yeah. So it gives you the title, overview, learning goals, and then the course structure module by module, yeah. And I kind of like it, but I also want to have a bit more information. So for example, I'm going to tell it, please provide the detailed session by session schedule of module 1. Yeah, and in ideal world, it should give you the what you have to study every week, yeah, because that's what I really want, yeah. So I need to know what are my tasks for this session, what are the things that I have to learn in that session, because then I can schedule it in my calendar, for example, and then I can just have this as a document, and I just, whenever is a time for me to study, I just open up my thing and I just basically study it, yeah. However, and let's wrap it up for now, because I think we've been quite a lot already, yeah. So I don't want to make it like a super long video. So the final part, when courses are actually worth it, yeah, that's quite important thing, yeah. So there's 80% of stuff you can learn without paying anyone, without like just develop your own system, put it in your calendar, and then you can just study things. It's basically just your own self-commitment to how much time you can dedicate each week, yeah, because it's going to give you what you want to do, and you're going to ask it more detailed questions about what it is exactly you do per session. It's going to provide you progressively elaborated session schedules, yeah. However, there is a threshold after which courses become useful. For example, if you're preparing for a specific certification, when you're doing some specialized work of this specific advanced study topic that you can find a lot of materials for, but you know that you're going to learn better when you sit down with others or with a video, someone actually talking to you about it. And I'm working on the course at the moment, and if you to polish yourself, you can head to this small quiz that asks you a few questions, and then that helps you to determine which part of the learning journey you're in, whether you need the course or you don't need the course. Nice and easy. Yeah, just click the link in the description, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me how you use this model so that I can improve it. See you in the next one.